Now we will discuss some examples in order to make sure that the concept of gravitational field strength is clear to all of us. So let's proceed. And example number 1. The value of gravitational field strength on the surface of moon is given, that is 1.6 Newton per kg. Mass is given as well as weight is given. 4 options are given. Now it is asked that for the body which was placed on the surface of the moon and where the gravitational field strength was 1.6 Newton per kg, for that body which option is the correct option? That is option A, option B, C or D. Now in order to calculate the correct answer, we have to perform the calculation for each and every row. Value of mass for each row is given as well as value of weight for each row is given. So what was the formula of weight? W is equals to mg G is equals to W over M. So for first value, this is 1.6 divided by 10. So this will be equals to 0.16. So it's mean 0.16, which is not possible because what was the value which was given? 1.6. Now for second option, 16 divided by 10. Definitely when we will divide 16 by 10, the answer will be 1.6. So from here we can say that for the body placed on the surface of moon where gravitational field strength was 1.6 Newton, so that body has the mass of 10 kg and its weight will be 16 Newton. Again look, what we have to do, we have to calculate the value of gravitational field strength for each option. Mass is given, weight is given. Formula was W is equals to mg, G is equals to W over M. First option 0.16 and second was 1.6 straight way. Question number 2. Values of both gravitational field strength for Earth and for Moon is given, and it is given that the weight of the body on the surface of Earth is 50 Newton and we have to calculate the weight of the body on surface of Moon. So first of all, we will calculate the mass of the body on surface of Earth. So W is equals to mg, M is equals to W over G. Value of weight was given 50. Value of G was given 10. So what is the value of now mass on the surface of Earth? It is 5 kg for Earth. We already know that mass remains the same. So if the mass of the body on the surface of Earth is 5 kg, the value of mass will remain same on the surface of Moon, that is 5 kg as well. So now we have to calculate the weight on the surface of Moon. So for Moon, W is equals to mg, value of mass was 5, value of G was 1.6, so value of weight will be 8.0 Newton. So this was very interesting MCQ. So in this MCQ, both value of gravitational field strength on the surface of Earth as well as on the surface of Moon were given. Weight was given on the surface of Earth and what was required? Weight on the surface of Moon. So first of all we will calculate mass of the body on the surface of earth. W is equals to mg, m is equals to w over g. Weight was 50 Newton, gravitational field strength was 10. So what was the mass? 5 kg. So mass remains same everywhere, irrespective of the position or location. So W is equals to mg for moon. Value of gravitational field strength was 1.6. So what was the weight on the surface of moon? 8 Newton. Question number 3. Now value of mass is given on the surface of earth, that is 15 kg. Both values are given on the surface of earth and on the surface of moon for the gravitational field strength. The question is this, that for moon calculate the value of mass and value of weight. Now one thing is clear. If mass is given on the surface of earth, then mass remains same everywhere. So which two options will be opted out? That is, option C is not possible as well as option D is not possible, because mass remains same everywhere and mass will be 15 kg. Now we have to check that what is the value of weight. So what we will do, again we will perform the same thing. G is equals to W over M. What is the value of W? 24. What is the value of M? 15. So it is 1.6. And what was the value given for the gravitational field strength on the surface of moon? It was 1.6 as well. So it means which option is correct option? Option A is the correct option. So again mass remains same everywhere. Now we will discuss question number 4. A boy stands on some bathroom scales. The reading of the scale was 50 kg. What is the value of mass and what is the value of weight? Obviously, if a boy is standing in the bathroom, then definitely we are considering by default that the bathroom is on the surface of earth. So mass will remain 50 kg. Either if it was given that boy was standing on the surface of the moon, then again value of mass will remain same, that is 50 kg. So these are two possible options, 50 kg and 50 kg. And one more thing, that unit of mass is kg, not Newton. So this value, sorry, here Newton is there as well. So these two values are opted out because mass can never ever be calculated in Newton, and likewise unit of weight is Newton, not kg. So option C and D are not possible. Now for the surface of earth, what is the formula of weight? W is equals to mg. Mass was 50 kg. So 50 into 10 is equals to 500. So which option is the correct option? Option B is the correct option. Now question number 5. Which relationship defines gravitational field strength? What was the formula of gravitational field strength? G is equals to W over M. W stands for weight, M stands for mass. So which option is the correct option? Option D, weight over mass. Question number 6. A boy of mass 10 kg, a body of mass 10 kg falling around moon's surface has acceleration 1.6 meter per second square. So mass was given 10 kg and value of acceleration was 1.6 meter per second square. So what is the gravitational field strength? In the beginning, when I was explaining the topic of gravitational field strength, I have told you that Newton per kg is equals to meters per second square. In other words, value of gravitational field strength at any point is equals to value of its gravitational acceleration. So what was the value of gravitational acceleration? 1.6 meter per second square. So obviously its value of gravitational field strength will be 1.6 Newton per kg as well. So which option is correct option? Option B. So I hope that now the concept of mass and weight regarding the gravitational field strength values are clear to all of you. Now you will be able to attempt these questions with confidence. Now we will calculate the last three learning outcomes of this unit, that is how we can calculate the volume of a regular and irregular body, hence how we can calculate density of the objects. So first of all, I will explain the method to calculate the volume of regular shaped bodies. Regular shaped bodies mean if I have a cube like this, then I can calculate its volume by considering this length, this length, and this length. In other words, volume of regular shaped bodies formula is length, breadth, height. Suppose it is 30 centimeter multiplied by 20 centimeter multiplied by 10 centimeter. So 600 cubic centimeter. So in this way we can find the volume of regular shaped body. Let's suppose if I am having this container of the ink for the marker. Now I have to calculate its volume. So what I will do, by using scale, I will measure its length, then this side, and then this side. So three measurements I have to do. I will measure the length of this side, and then the third one, and I will multiply all these three measurements to get the volume of this regular shaped body. In order to calculate or find the volume of irregular shaped body, I will use measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is like this. starting from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Initially there was no water in the measuring cylinder. Let's suppose if I am having an irregular body like this, so I cannot find its volume by the method of finding the volume of regular bodies because it's an irregular shape. So in order to find its volume, I will use measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is used to measure the volume of a liquid, and by the displacement of that liquid we can find the volume of the body. Now first of all, what I will do, that I will pour water in the measuring cylinder at this level. So what is the value? Right now its volume is 5 cubic centimeter. Now what I will do, I will tie up the irregular body. Suppose I am having a stone of this shape. Now what I will do, first of all I will tie up this irregular body with a thread, and then I will immerse this irregular body by using thread in the measuring cylinder. Now what happens? As we have observed in our daily life as well, that if we have a container in which there is a water, and when we are going to dip our hands in that container, level of water rises up. It depends on the size of the hands. Larger the hands we have, larger the displacement of water will be there. So as soon I will immerse the irregular body by tying up it with a thread and immersing or dipping in the measuring cylinder, what happens? Its volume rises, volume of liquid rises. So it will rise up till here. So now again I will find its value. So from this diagram it is clear that now the level of liquid has reached up to 7 cubic centimeter. Now in order to find the volume of that body which was immersed in the measuring cylinder, what I will do? I will apply the formula V is equals to V2 minus V1. What was the value of V2? It was 7. What was the value of V1? It was 5. So now what is the volume of the body? 2 cubic centimeter. So in this way we can find the volume of regular and irregular bodies. For regular bodies we have to apply the formula L multiplied by B multiplied by H. So in this way we can calculate or find the volume of regular shaped body. For irregular shaped bodies we have to use the measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is an instrument which is used to measure the volume of a liquid, but from displacement of the water we can find the volume of an irregular body, and make sure that body should not absorb the water. Let's suppose if we want to find the volume of a stone, then stone doesn't absorb water. So what I will do, I will tie up the stone with the thread. Before immersing or dipping the stone in the measuring cylinder, first of all I will measure the initial volume of the water. It was 5 centimeter. I have immersed the stone, tying up with the thread in the measuring cylinder. Water rises up. I will measure the new reading on the measuring cylinder. It was 7 cubic centimeter, and the difference of 7 cubic centimeter and 5 cubic centimeter will give the volume of irregular shaped body. Right now we have studied that how we can find the volume of irregular shaped body by using measuring cylinder. There is another method with which we can find the volume of irregular shaped body, and that is by using displacement can method. Okay, why we use displacement can method to find the volume of irregular bodies? Reason is that if the objects are smaller in the size, then we can use the measuring cylinder directly to find the volume of irregular bodies. But if the irregular objects are larger in size, then we have to use the displacement can method, because larger objects cannot be immersed in the measuring cylinder, because usually measuring cylinder is of the smaller size. So this is the reason we can use the displacement can to measure the volume of larger irregular shaped bodies. Now what we will do, first of all, this is the displacement can, it has placed on the stand, this is the beaker, and this is the measuring cylinder. Before starting the experiment, what we will do, that we will place the displacement can on side and will fill it with water up till here. Now what will happen? The extra water will overflow, and when we make sure that now water has reaches at this level, because all the extra water which was above from this level will flow out from this spout, displacement or overflow flow. So from this overflow spout, extra water will drain out or will overflow. When we will make sure that this has been done, then we will place this displacement can on a stand, and on the other side or on overflow spout we will place under it a beaker. So water level was up till here. Now what we will do? Again we will hang an irregular shaped body with a thread and will immerse that body in the displacement can, now equal to the volume of this body. What happens to the water level? It rises up and overflow from this overflow spout and will be collected in this beaker. And then what we will do? We will pour the water collected in beaker into the measuring cylinder and will find its volume. So from this diagram, its volume is 11 cubic centimeter. So in this way we can find or we can determine the volume of irregular shaped bodies larger in size by using displacement can method. Now we will discuss that how we can find the density of the bodies. Now we will discuss the concept of density. Before I will write the definition of density and the formula of density, we will consider three different objects from daily life in order to understand the concept of density. I am having tissue paper in my hand, a razor, and this screwdriver. So what do you think? What do you suggest? Which is the softest one? Screwdriver, this one, or this one? Definitely your answer will be that the tissue paper is softer one and the screwdriver is the hardest one to press. Now what is the reason? The reason is simple, that it has less quantity of matter per unit volume. It has more quantity of matter per unit volume as compared to tissue paper, and screwdriver has the maximum quantity of matter per unit volume. So quantity of matter increases per unit volume means its density increases. So now the definition of density is very simple. That what is meant by density? Density means mass per unit volume. So what is the definition of density? Mass per unit volume. Now I will write its formula. So formula of density is mass over volume. And what is the unit of density? Kilogram per cubic meter, or sometimes grams per cubic centimeter. Unit of mass is kilogram, unit of volume is cubic meter. So its SI unit is kilogram per cubic meter, or sometimes it is being given in the question that unit of density is grams per cubic centimeter. So we have to work accordingly, that which unit is given and how we have to calculate the values of density for given objects. Now in order to find the density, first of all we have to find the mass and then volume. In order to measure the mass, we can use physical balance, electronic balance, or beam balance as well. In order to measure the volume, if body is regular, then we can find its volume by using this formula. And if body is irregular, then again there are two possibilities, that we can use measuring cylinder or we can use displacement can. Why we can use measuring cylinder or displacement can? Already I have told you that if the object is smaller in size, which can be fit easily in the measuring cylinder, so we will use the measuring cylinder, and if the object is larger in size, which cannot be fit in the measuring cylinder, then we will use displacement can method. So what is the formula of density? Mass over volume. What its unit? Kilogram per cubic meter or grams per cubic centimeter. Now we will discuss different examples, that how we can calculate density, so that it will be easy for all of you to calculate the densities of different bodies. Now we will discuss different examples in order to learn the method to calculate the densities of different bodies if different situations are given or different parameters are given. So let's see that how we can solve those type of questions. In first question, the mass of body is given 12 grams and the density is given as well 3 grams per cubic centimeter. It is also given that the total volume of the water which we have taken was 25 cubic centimeter, and we have to tell the new reading, that what will be the new reading when we have immersed the body in the measuring cylinder. We know that the formula to calculate the volume was V is equals to V2 minus V1. This was required, but this is missing as well. So we don't know the value of V1 as well. Now what we will do, we will use these two and we'll find the volume. What is the formula of density? Density is equals to mass over volume. From here we will make the formula of volume. So volume is equals to mass over density. What was the value of mass? 12. What was the value of density? 3. So what is the volume of liquid? 4 cubic centimeter. So now we will put that value over here. V is equals to V2 minus V1. Value of V was 25. V2 was unknown. Value of V1 was 4. So therefore 25 plus 4 is equals to 29 cubic centimeter. So in this way, density was given, mass was given, total volume was given, and we have to find the new volume of the liquid when object was immersed in the measuring cylinder. Question number 2. 10 identical balls, each of mass 27 grams, were immersed in the measuring cylinder. Initial volume was given 20 cubic centimeter. Final volume was given 50 cubic centimeter. We have to find the density. So first of all, we will find the volume. So volume is equals to V2 minus V1 is equals to 50 minus 20. Now the volume is 30 cubic centimeter. In order to find the density, which formula will be used? Mass over volume. So mass. Now there is a trick. We are not supposed to take 27 grams. Since 10 identical balls were immersed in the measuring cylinder, so it is the mass of a single ball. So what we will do, we will multiply the value with 10 and divide it by 30. So 270 over 30. So the answer is 9 grams per cubic meter. So again, make sure that while calculating the mass or while putting the value of mass, we have to multiply this value with 10 because this is the mass of single ball. Then again, next question, question number 3. Now these are the two instruments to physical balance or electronic balance. Values are given on this electronic balance. Measuring cylinders were put on these balances. So when there was only water, there was only liquid or water in the measuring cylinder, then mass was 100 grams, volume was 30 cubic centimeter. But when body was immersed or ball was immersed in the liquid, its mass changes from 100 grams to 180 grams and its volume also changes from 30 cubic centimeter to 40 cubic centimeter. Question was there that we have to calculate the density of the ball. So what is the formula of density? Density is equals to mass over volume so we will calculate the mass. Now how we can calculate the mass? This was the mass of the measuring cylinder and water, and this was the mass of the measuring cylinder, water and the ball. So how we can calculate the mass of the ball? Definitely we will separate these two values to calculate the mass of the ball. So 180, rather I will write here m2 minus m1 over v2 minus v1. 180 minus 100, 40 minus 30. So what will be the value? Will be 80 and 10. So answer will be 8 grams per cubic centimeter. So in this way we can find the density of the ball. So by discussing these three examples, now we are able to complete the unit number 4. Hope that now you will be able to solve the questions regarding this unit, and if there are any queries or anything you want to ask, you may write in the comments. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.